If you found yourself stranded with nothing but a tin can, a bit of scrap metal, and the will to eat a hot meal, would you know what to do? During the Second World War, countless soldiers, partisans and civilians had to answer that very question. The battlefield and the home front were not equipped with modern camping stoves, propane tanks or survival gear. Instead, necessity forced people to get creative with whatever lay at hand. Out of that necessity came the art of improvised cookery, small, efficient and often ingenious cooking devices made from the simplest materials. These contraptions not only kept men alive but also provided comfort in times of immense hardship. Today, unpacking these forgotten skills offers lessons in resilience, resourcefulness and practical survival that remain just as valuable for modern enthusiasts, campers and preppers. For anyone studying the Second World War, one of the most striking themes is how people learned to turn scarcity into strength. Soldiers at the front, especially in remote or shifting battle lines, often had little more than rations and whatever debris could be scrounged. The so-called scrap heap challenge was not a luxury, but a daily necessity. Tin cans from ration packs became the backbone of countless improvised stoves. Wire from broken equipment, pieces of sheet metal from wreckage, and even discarded shell casings found second lives as cooking implements. Modern equivalents are still within easy reach. Where they once had biscuit tins and condensed milk cans, today's enthusiast can make use of coffee cans, soda cans or food tins. The key principle hasn't changed. Choose a container that can withstand heat without collapsing. Create openings for airflow and control the burn with whatever fuel you can source. What might look like trash becomes, in the hands of a resourceful person, a working stove. The very accessibility of these materials makes improvised cookery a skill that can be practiced today without cost. And it creates a direct line back to the lived experiences of those who relied on them during wartime. One of the most iconic improvised stoves of the Second World War was the Tommy cooker, a small portable device used by British troops. The original versions were notoriously unreliable, but soldiers quickly learned how to adapt and improve them with what they had. Building a version today is not only a way to understand history, but also a hands-on survival skill. Start with a sturdy tin can. Punch or drill a series of holes around the bottom edge to allow air to flow in and make a few at the top to let smoke escape. Place a smaller tin or metal cup inside to act as a fuel chamber. Fuel could range from solid fuel tablets to a carefully packed mixture of sawdust and paraffin. In wartime, soldiers often had nothing more than waxed cardboard or bits of candle to get things going. The design principle was simple. Allow enough oxygen for combustion, but restrict it enough to concentrate heat under a mess tin or small pot. To assemble, set your can stove on stable ground, feed your chosen fuel into the chamber, and use a bit of cloth or paper as tinder. Within minutes, you have a controlled flame capable of boiling water or heating rations. Efficiency wasn't always perfect, but compared to eating cold rations in a muddy trench, the difference was morale-boosting and life-sustaining. You know, fuel availability really shaped how these improvised stoves were used. During the war, solid fuel tablets were issued in limited quantities, but, well, when they ran out, soldiers had to make do with whatever they could find. Scraps of wood, pine cones, or even dried animal dung, believe it or not. Civilians in bombed-out cities did much the same, burning furniture fragments, newspapers, or honestly anything that would catch. If you're looking to test your own stove today, it's best to start with safe fuels. Small twigs and dry leaves can serve as stand-ins for the scraps soldiers used, while modern camping fuel tablets can give you a consistent burn. Just place a half-filled mess tin or small pot of water on top of your improvised cooker. If it's designed well, the water should reach boiling in about 10 to 15 minutes depending on the conditions. Soldiers often judged their stove's effectiveness by this very measure. If it boiled tea or heated soup, it worked. Safety was always a concern, then and now. Never use these stoves indoors or in enclosed spaces. as smoke and carbon monoxide build-up are real dangers. Always keep a small amount of water or soil nearby to extinguish the fire if it flares too high. The lesson here is that even in crisis, careful handling of fire could mean the difference between sustenance and disaster. The importance of improvised cookery in the Second World War went far beyond providing warm food. It symbolized independence, adaptability and morale in circumstances where those qualities were under constant strain. For modern audiences, these lessons extend into camping, survival preparation, and even simple backyard projects. Imagine being on a camping trip when modern equipment fails. Knowing how to transform a discarded tin can and some dry twigs into a functioning stove ensures you are never without a hot meal. Preppers and survivalists recognize that in times of crisis, supply chains may falter, and the skills of our grandparents' generation may become relevant once again. Even outside emergencies, these projects have value. Building an improvised cooker with children or students can connect them to history in a tangible way while teaching fire safety, resourcefulness, and respect for the past. The Second World War demonstrated that ingenuity could bridge gaps that logistics failed to cover. Improvised cookery was not glamorous, but it was vital. It turned soldiers from passive recipients of supply lines into active problem solvers who could adapt to any environment. That mindset is just as critical now. Modern convenience often hides the fragility of our systems, but history shows how quickly people had to return to basic skills when those systems broke down. For anyone interested in history, survivalism or self-sufficiency, building and using a simple improvised stove bridges past and present. It creates respect for the resilience of those who endured wartime conditions while giving us tools that may one day serve in our own moments of need. And unlike abstract lessons, this is one you can practice in your own backyard, using the same scraps of material and the same principles that kept countless people fed during the darkest years of the 20th century. The forgotten art of improvised cookery deserves a place in both our historical memory and our modern survival toolkit. Whether it's a Tommy cooker fashioned from a tin can, a makeshift firebox dug from the earth, or any number of field-built contraptions, these stoves tell a story of resilience, adaptation, and determination. They remind us that survival is not always about what you have, but what you can make out of what's at hand. If this dive into WWII survival secrets has given you insight or inspired you to try your own improvised build, take the next step. Subscribe to In the Beginning for more deep explorations into history's practical knowledge. Share this with fellow enthusiasts, survivalists, and history buffs who will appreciate the forgotten ingenuity of wartime cookery. Together we keep these lessons alive, not just as stories, but as skills we can still use today.